look at variable transformations in Stata, where we want to convert a string variable into a numeric variable or vice versa. Now, the relevance of these is that variable transformation is important for merging and appending, because when you want to merge and append, variable name and type have to be the same. So this is one of the applications of why we need to know how to go from string to numeric or numeric to string, because if we want to merge or append, then we need to make sure variable name and types have to be the same. Now, the general syntax that we're going to use, we're going to look at 4 commands of variable transformations, and the general syntax for all of them is going to be you write your command name. We'll look at what these commands are. Then you write the name of the variable you want to transform, and either you replace that variable, the existing variable, into a transform form, but if you don't create a new variable, you just replace the existing variable into a new form. Or what you can do is you write your name of command, name of variable you want to transform, and then instead of replace, you use gen, and in that you specify new variable name. So the first command that we have is toString. Now what toString does, as the name suggests it converts a numeric variable into a string variable. So it can convert, you can either convert a numerical variable with value labels or a numerical variable without value labels into a string variable, right? So we can do both. When you have a numeric variable with value labels, and that what Stata is going to do is it is basically going to convert the actual values of the numerical variable into a string variable. It will ignore the value labels and see what the actual coded values are and convert them into value labels. One thing to keep in mind is with toString, typically you can use either replace or you can use gen. But if you're using toString with a numeric variable with value labels, then in that case you can't use replace, you have to use gen. So toString can convert a numeric variable with or without value labels into a string variable. If it's a numeric variable without value labels, so you can either use replace or gen option. But if it's a numeric variable with value labels, then you can only use replace. You can only use gen. You can't use replace. Let's see how that goes. So let's look at this issues auto data set. Let's just browse it. So we want to say convert this numeric variable price, which doesn't have any value labels, into a string variable. Currently, we know it's in the form of a numeric variable because we can see from the color coding as well. Black is for numeric variables without value labels, red is for string variables, and blue is for numeric variables with value labels, right? So now what I do is the command that I'm going to use is so this is a numeric variable without value labels. I want to convert it into string. So one option is that I can generate a new variable. So I do toString, the command, like we said, the command name, the variable you want to transform, which in this case is price, and then you can either use gen or replace. First, let's generate a new variable. Because I'm using gen, so I have to specify a name for the new variable that I want to create. Let's say it's price underscore str. So see over here, Stata has created a new variable, price underscore str, which is the same variable as price, but in string form as the color red denotes. Or what I could have done is instead of creating a new variable, we could have basically just replaced existing price, right? So in this case, look, Stata has, and when I run this command, it did not create a new variable. It just converted the existing price into string, like where the color changed from black to red as it changed from numeric to string. Now let's look at a numeric variable with value labels into string. So this is like this foreign, right? So we know blue stands for numeric variable with value labels. Like over here, we know domestic is just the value label, right? Because when you press on domestic, we get 0, right? The value coded is 0 and domestic is just a value label for that. Similarly, the value coded is 1, foreign is just the value label for that. So when I do toString foreign gen, this will not work. You cannot use gen with that, right? Like Stata tell you. Okay, so no. Oh, sorry, gen will work. Sorry, replace will not work. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Let me just. Gen will work, right? Replace won't work, right? In this case, we can say Stata has created a new variable for an underscore str, right? So over here you can see it was a numeric variable with value labels. What Stata did was Stata took the actual values, ignored the value labels completely, and just created a string variable using those actual values, right? Domestic was just a value label for the value 0. So Stata converted that 0 value into a string form of 0, right? So this is what toString does when you use it with a numeric variable with value labels. It ignores the value labels, takes the actual values, and converts them into string form. You cannot use, in this case, replace because it's a numeric variable with value labels, and you will see it says foreign has value label no replace, right? So toString allows you to convert a numeric variable with or value labels into a string variable.